Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are here today. It is a good day for the airport. It is a good day for the community that neighbors the airport. And it is a good day for those two focus areas to come together. My name is Hirsch Perek. I'm the Deputy Chief of Intergovernmental Affairs at the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, and I will serve as your MC today. Before we get started with the speaking program, I want to acknowledge a number of our special guests that are here with us, and you'll be hearing from several of them in just a few moments. But first, we have Teresa Rizzuto, General Manager of JFK Airport. Teresa, thank you very much. We have George Abizide from Gaz Realty, who is going to be the developer of this project. So George, thank you very much. We are expecting to be joined very shortly by Congressman Gregory Meeks, so we thank him for his leadership. We have our borough president, Queensborough President Donovan Richards is here with us. Thank you for your leadership. We have City Council member, I believe this is part of your district where we're standing today, right? City Council member Selvina Brooks Powers is here with us. Thank you very much, Council member. We have the chairs of two of our community boards here with us today. We have Brian Block from Community Board 13 and Betty Brayton from Community Board 10. We have a number of members from our JFK Community Advisory Council who have been critical partners as we advance the development of JFK Airport. We have two organizations that have been really leading the charge as it relates to truck parking, and I want to thank each of them for their hard work and advocacy on this issue. First, we have the Queens Community Task Force on Illegal Truck Parking, so thank you very much to each of you that are here for your advocacy on this very important issue. And we have the Trucking Association of New York State, who is also here with us. So thank you for your partnership as well. So, as I said, we're here to celebrate a very special project, one that will create much needed capacity here at the airport and really help to address a long-standing community concern. And that's what we've been trying to do as we build and expand and modernize JFK Airport, is to make sure we are growing the airport to meet the 21st century needs, but also doing it in a way that is mindful and cognizant and in partnership with our local community. So with that, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, the General Manager of JFK Airport, Teresa Rizzuto.
Oops, thank you, Hirsch. Thank you very much. Is this going to stay? Okay. So it is a pleasure to be here today for this exciting groundbreaking event marking the expansion of the Truck Plaza parking at JFK International Airport. And I guess, as many of you know, and Hirsch has said it, providing dedicated service to large vehicles, especially the tractor trailers, is essential to supporting our cargo operation. And these trucks play a vital role in the movement of goods throughout the airport. And this new facility will significantly enhance the ability to serve them. So right now, I know that Hirsch welcomed everybody, and I would like to just welcome all those elected officials. It's really an honor for you all to be here, of course. I really love seeing you guys. But what I'd like to also welcome is George Abizide. George is the president of the Gaz Realty. If you look across the street, that's all his enterprise over there. And he's really spearheading the development of this state-of-the-art facility. George has been a dedicated partner at JFK since 2011, I believe. He's done an outstanding job operating that Sunoco gas station and the plaza here at the airport. He's provided much-needed service to both the employees and the broader airport community, and we're thrilled now that he'll be expanding his efforts to deliver this much-anticipated truck plaza. This development will transform a site that has sat vacant for over 25 years, so long that you may have even noticed the trees growing out of the roof. Now, we were just teasing about that before. We created green roofs before they were even in style here. So anyway, this project to us is more than just construction. It's a long overdue revitalization, and this new facility will span 5,500 square feet and include electric vehicle charging stations, truck and employee parking, and a variety of food and service vendors. So we are very excited. I believe it's Tim Hortons and Bubble Tree and some pizza? Okay. Well, we always like the pizza part. Not that I don't like Tim Hortons or Bubble Tea. I do. But demolition will begin shortly, actually very shortly after this completion of this event today. And then it will be followed by construction. And this is just the beginning of the new chapter for JFK cargo and service infrastructure. We expect this project to be completed by the end of summer 2026. This will, of course, give us additional capacity to store and stage trucks here at JFK and will help us manage the movement of freight here at the airport. And in little more than just a year from now, we'll have a new truck parking plaza with additional concessions. This is a win for JFK, and it's a win for the community. This is just one example of how we've worked with the community to build a project here at JFK that both transformed the airport and the benefits of the community. So again, just want to thank you all for being here. It is a very exciting time for us, and I'd like to turn it back over to Hirsch.
Thank you, Teresa. Next, we'd like to invite the man who's actually going to be demolishing and then building this facility. So we'd like to introduce the president and CEO of Gaz Realty, Mr. George Abizide.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for being here today. My name is George Abizide. I'm the founder and the CEO of Airport Plaza. Today is a proud day for us. It's a proud day for Airport Plaza, proud day for JFK International Airport, and for the local community and the local community leaders. For years, trucks coming to Kennedy, they have no place to park. They park on the side street, bothering the local community. It's not safe, it's not sustainable, and it's not fair for the truck drivers who've been driving for a long time to come in and sit and wait in their cabin. As JFK cargo business expand, the need for such project, truck parking, it's more urgent than ever. Today is a proud day. The Port Authority listened, we listened, the local leaders asked for something, and we acted. Like Teresa says, a year from now, or less than a year from now, hopefully, we'll have a beautiful plaza to have truck parking and other facility for truckers. This plaza is not just truck parking, it's not cement, it's not just asphalt, it's not lines. It's really a place for the truckers to come in, park their car safely, do not have to worry about being ticketed or harassed to move their trucks. They don't have to worry about the safety of their cargo. They park their car in a well-lit, safe parking space. They get out of their cabin instead of sleeping all night in their cabin. They come to the plaza, refresh, get something good, hot to eat, use clean, big, large bathrooms, relax, socialize, and talk to each other with the other truckers, and leave, go on the road well-rested rather than be tired. I really want to thank the airport, JFK GM, to allow this project to go through. Ms. Teresa Rizzuto, thank you very much. And the Port Authority to continue push this project forward. And today is not the day for me, for anybody. Today is the day for our truckers. We really welcome you here. We want you here. We hear you, we listen to you, and we open a plaza for you to make your job much, much easier. Thank you very much for being here today and enjoy the day. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, George. And that's the message of this event, right? Making sure that we are caring for an integral part of the airport community, which is our truck driver community, but also making sure that we are doing what we can to be good neighbors to our off-airport community and making sure that trucks are not parking overnight or illegally in the community. And with these new spaces coming to this airport, we will be able to contribute towards that goal. And it hasn't been said yet, but when the new plaza opens, this plaza will be able to accommodate 100 additional trucks. Now that is game changing, right? We are tripling the capacity for trucks to park here at JFK. So again, the excitement is just teeming from all parties, and I'd like to invite our next speaker, who has been a real champion of JFK redevelopment, making sure that we are not only modernizing the airport, but doing it in a way that brings opportunity and benefits to his constituents and to all of our neighbors in the borough of Queens. Please welcome Queensborough President Donovan Richards.
Let's give it up for Hirsch. Thank you. I know Rick is not here. Teresa, thank you for your partnership to GAS. But more importantly, today is really a victory for our local community. Let me say that again. Today is really a victory for our local community because we know this has been an issue going back from my inception of even coming into community service, how one of the number one complaints we get that just does not go away is there are trucks on our block from Springfield Gardens to outside Andrew Jackson. We just did a tow operation actually last week with the NYPD in enforcement action, but one of the definitions of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over again. And we know that for a lot of the truckers, unfortunately, in the companies, that this was just the course of doing business, eating the tickets, partially because the infrastructure was not put in place. So today is really a great day because we've talked about, yes, development happening on the grounds of the airport, but we've often talked about the need to make sure that those benefits translate to the local community. So to have 100 trucks on this lot, and where's the trucking foundation? Because I work with y'all going back from my days on the council. All right, you want to get the word out, right? So we're going to make sure we get the word out because when we do these operations, often we'll hear from people, and many of these truck drivers live in our community. They say we have nowhere to go. And I say, well, if you can't do it in Nassau County, you can't do it in Queens County as well. But the fact that they'll have a place where they can now park, where we'll have capacity is huge. And then right across from here, we just finalized some negotiations between Bartlett Dairy and Wildflower, and that site will have an additional 150 spots for EV charging and also truck capacity. So we really are making a big change, and this is really about public safety, but also climate change as well, and the impacts of trucks idling in your community. Asthma rates, think about asthma, cancer, all of these things that impact especially Black and brown communities disproportionately. With that being said, I don't have much else to say. It's just a great day. Of course, I want to ensure, of course, we're going to be using MWBE partners through this and making sure that there's reporting on the job opportunities as well. But today is really a good day. I want to acknowledge my co-chair, Gregory Meeks, who has been a staunch advocate for this as well. And of course, to our transportation chairwoman, Sylvina Brooks-Powell. It's all hands on deck to make sure that we leave this community better than we found it. And of course, a state-of-the-art JFK airport needs state-of-the-art 21st century solutions. And this, absolutely, this project meets that goal. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Borough President Richards. And I'd next like to introduce a man who also needs no introduction. He has been leading the fight for our community, both nationally and internationally, but he never forgets that this community is his home, and he works hard to make sure that the opportunities from JFK Airport accrue to his constituents. And I like to also point out he does boast about JFK Airport to his colleagues nationally, so we hope you keep doing that. I'd like to introduce the Congressman Gregory Meeks.
Thanks, Hirsch. And I don't know if y'all have given him a round of applause, but give Hirsch a round of applause for all the work that he does and continues to do on a regular basis. This is a big day, a very important day for the community, for its health, for its wellness, for its creating opportunity. This is something that brings us all together, even when we think about and contemplate the future. And it's important, and as I see individuals who represent various sections of the community of Southeastern Queens, and working alongside the borough president, trying to make sure, as well as the community boards, who I see are well represented here, and my elected colleagues. I think I see our council member who is here, Sylvania Brooks Powers. You know, this is something that we've talked about on a regular basis. We talk about what takes place in the community. Trucks parked in different places, which affects everyday quality of life. You know, even on my block, and some of you might know my wife, so there are plenty of opportunities where we would drive around the corner from our house, and there's a huge truck that's there, and you cannot see around the truck or the traffic that's coming. And she lets me know, she says, why is this happening in our community? Why is this taking place? You know? And so the thought and the idea of coming up with the JFK International Airport Truck Plaza, it is something that helps with that quality of life and will make it easier for me to sleep at night without hearing from my wife and James Johnson, who's I see here, my son-in-law. You got other things, but we have those kinds of conversations about the quality of life. And the borough president has been focused on just that. And when you think about wanting the airport to grow and the opportunity that it presents, you know, JFK in 2024 handled 1.6 million tons of cargo, which was an increase from 2023 and 25% more than in 2019, which makes it the 8th largest and busiest cargo airport in the United States and the 21st globally. That's a good thing on one aspect of it. There goes my papers, who need them. That's a good thing in one aspect, but it's a bad thing if you don't affect and make sure that the quality of life is improved. Thank you. So, working with the community, this is the first new cargo facility at JFK in 25 years. And this operation will consolidate all the operations from 4 separate cargo zones into a single modernized location that does what we want: reduce congestion, streamlining operations, and unlocking space for future development. I understand it's going to be upwards of around 150 parking spaces. That is very good. Now, what we need to do is to make sure that we're getting the word out. And I think that's what's important now, that the word gets spread out to the truck drivers, to know that no longer do they have to park in our neighborhood streets, that they have a place to come and park their trucks. And as I heard on the end of the borough president's comments, that MBEs, you could just hold that, I'm gonna just wrap up now anyways. Local people, minority and women enterprises, local enterprises will be able to share in the opportunity of the jobs that are being created here. It is what brings back what is called public-private partnerships. That is the present and that is the future of what we are today and the future of the United States of America. If we're gonna do things successfully, it's gonna be public-private partnerships. That's what works. That's what creates jobs. That's what maintains communities. That's what pulls us all together. And I thank the Port Authority. I know Rick Cotton is not here today, but I want to thank Rick and Hirsch for the work and the cooperation that they have had with this community, being and making sure that we're all good neighbors. So I thank each and every one of you that are here and those that were able to put and make this project a reality. Something we've talked about, something we've complained about. This is something that now can reduce and keep us together as a community. I look forward to working with each and every one of you here at the airport. And finally, I do, Hirsch. I brag about what we're doing at JFK because I think what we're doing, and this is a part of it, is a model of what can be followed by districts and countries across the United States of America. This model, my colleagues in Washington, D.C., they're watching us. The eyes of Congress are watching us. Everyone that has an airport are looking at what we're doing at JFK and asking me, how can we do the same thing and have the same kind of working agreement in our communities? Because no matter where you are, airports bring progress and jobs, but it also brings environmental concerns and congestion. They're looking at what we're doing in the city of New York at JFK to make JFK the best airport, not just here in the United States, but all over the world. Thank you all, and thank you for your participation.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Congressman. I'd next like to introduce the chair of the City Council's Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, someone who's very familiar with JFK and the work that we've done here. Please join me in welcoming City Council member Selvina Brooks Powers.
Thank you so much, Hirsch, and good morning, everyone. I think we could do better than that, Southeast Queens. Good morning, everyone. You know, I'm used to the energy in Southeast Queens, and it's such an honor here to be here today with my colleagues in government, Congressmember Greg Meeks, Borough President Donovan Richards. I believe State Senator Leroy Comrie will be on his way also, as well as the entire Port Authority family. Really excited about marking today's milestone, and this groundbreaking is more than just a groundbreaking update. It's a win for working families, for truckers, and for communities. For too long, neighborhoods like mine have borne the brunt of illegal truck parking. Tractor trailers idling outside our homes, blocking our sidewalks, and compromising air quality and pedestrian safety. We heard from residents who were tired of illegal truck parking, traffic, and idling, and we listened. That's why today's announcement to triple the number of on-airport truck parking spaces to accommodate 150 trucks is such a meaningful step forward. I know the entire task force is not here, but I also would like to recognize the Southeast Queens Illegal Truck Parking Task Force. So if you are here and a part of the task force, if you could just stand really quickly. It's important to acknowledge them. Go ahead, stand up, get your props. And why it's important to highlight the work that they're doing is because they have been relentless on this issue. To the point that we have formed a working group with the Port Authority and EDC to explore alternatives and solutions like this one. And we know it's going to take, as I always say, a number of tools in the toolbox, but we've been really able to work together to find some solutions, whether it be the redesign of the truck routes throughout the city of New York, or if it's about truck idling laws or where our trucks can park, but creating a space, because we also heard from truckers, some of them that live right in our communities that just want to return home. So it's not just a matter of the cargo dynamic, it's about creating this eco space for truckers to be able to do the work that they do, and a lot of us rely heavily on the e-commerce industry right now as well. And the work that the JFK bid in particular has been doing as of late has been tremendous also as a partner. So I'd like to thank the executive director, James Johnson. I know we have our chair here. I'd like to recognize you too, because it really takes a full team to make an impact like we are today. So it's always great to be with my Port Authority family and see you, of course, Teresa. And thank you for holding a commitment, because I remember, Congressman, I don't know if you remember, but when we did the tour at JFK and we had to get on the bus and Rick was with us, I was in his ear again and he was like, nope, we got a solution, we're working on it. And just like 2 weeks ago, actually, I was like, well, the Port Authorities said they were going to do this. What happened? And they must have been reading my mind, because here we are today. But thank you.
Thank you, council member. And yes, sometimes in large government organizations, things can take a little bit of time, but we want to make sure that we are holding true on our end of the bargain and making sure that we are living up to our commitments. And last, but certainly not least, I'd like to introduce one of the members of that truck parking task force, but also the chair of one of our local neighboring community boards. Please join me in welcoming Brian Block, chair of Queens Community Board 13.
Thank you, Hirsch. Good morning, everyone. Morning, everyone. All right. Thank you, Hirsch. Thank you for the task force. Let me first of all thank the members of the task force. Every Saturday, we would meet. Bill Perkins, Faye, Bob Glover, all of us would meet and strategize, Corey Barrick and others, and we would get together and we worked focused on this issue. So I want to give them a shout out and thank them very, very much from the bottom of my heart. Today we can finally look forward to the potential solution of a problem our communities have suffered through for many years: overnight truck parking. We tried working as a task force with leadership from the communities of QCB 13 and the incredible partnership of Patrol Borough Board South under the leadership of Assistant Chief Kevin Williams, to address the problems within the framework of the resources that were available at the time. There was ticketing, booting, towing operations, but always the real problem was space. Where would these illegal trucks be towed? Where would they go? That was always the response we would get. Now, finally, through the efforts of our local elected officials and the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, does this problem appear to have a solution of 150 truck parking spaces on the land area within JFK. This is what our communities have always wanted, and we are thankful that those who have the power to make it happen have done so. We understand the importance of trucks to bring goods and from all over the world to our city and places beyond. We celebrate the variety and bounty of these imports, yet we want our streets to reflect the beauty of our neighborhoods without the nuisance and unsightliness of 18-wheeler trucks in residential areas. Thank you, Rick Cotton, Congressman Gregory Meeks, Borough President Donovan Richards, and all the other elected officials and community leaders gathered here again. Once again, I want to thank the community leaders that came out. Every Saturday we met on Zoom, so I want to again thank all of you. On behalf of the homeowners and park lovers, thank you for doing something that will have a major impact on our daily lives and general well-being. Thank you, everyone. Everyone have a great day.
Thank you, Brian. So that concludes our speaking program. I'd like to invite up our speakers so we can take our ceremonial shovel photo. So if I can ask our speaking program first to join us here at the front while we do a little bit of setup.